Hello and welcome once again to Ficentra. In this video, we are going to look at conversion of units. And I bet you have never come across a simpler way to convert units than what I'm going to show you today. After watching the series of videos on unit conversion that I'm going to teach you, you should be able to convert every unit or any given unit in one step or maximum 2 steps. To make this easier, I have classified this into 5, from the easiest to quite challenging ones. So the first one or the first type is units that have prefixes to units that do not have prefixes. Now, forget to mention that every conversion we are going to do, we are using the prefix. So make sure you have the prefixes in mind. So the first one is a unit that have prefix to a unit that do not have prefix. Example is when you are given a value such as 2 kilometers, you are converting 2 kilometers to meters. We have 2 kilometers, there's a prefix here to a value without a prefix. Then we have another one which is value without a prefix to value with a prefix. Example is to say you are converting 2 meters to, let's say, centimeters. So this is a unit without a prefix to a unit with a prefix. Now the third one is a unit with a prefix to another unit with a prefix. Example is when you are asked to convert, for instance, 2 millimeters to kilometers. Then next we have conversions involving powers. Conversion involving powers, what do you mean by that? This you can be asked to convert a unit such as 2 meters squared to kilometer squared, or you can be asked to convert 2 centimeters squared to millimeter squared, or 2 micrometers squared to millimeter squared. Then the last one is a combination of the units. What do I mean by combination of the units? For instance, when you are asked to convert 25 kilometer per hour to, let's say, meter per second. This is a combination of two units. So we are going to look at this one after the other. So let's start with the first and the easiest one, which is units with prefix to units without prefix. So let's start with the very example I wrote here. So if you are converting 2 kilometers to meters, this is going to be equal to 2. We know the value of kilo is 10 exponent 3. Then we introduce the unit. We have finished our conversion. So this is 2 kilometer, 2 kilometer. So if you don't want to work with this value, or computing this will be difficult for you, you can just expand this further and write your answer as 10 exponent 3 is 1000. So when you multiply this, you are going to get 2000 meters. So I've done my conversion in the first line, but then this I'm just expanding in case you don't want to work with the powers or whatsoever. So let's try one more example, as this is the easiest. We wouldn't be solving so much example on this. So given a question such as to convert 7.54 kilograms to grams. So we have a unit with a prefix here, we are converting to a unit without a prefix. So all we need to do is to write as 7.54 kilometers equals to 7.54. Then we write the value of kilo, which is 10 exponent 3. Sorry, that was kilograms. 10 exponent 3 grams. So you are done with your conversion. You've converted from kilograms to grams. The rest is your choice as to whether you want to open it up or you want to work with standard form or scientific notation. That is up to you. So you can leave your answer this way, which is correct, or you can decide to expand this. Positive 3 means that we are moving our decimal point back to the right side. So we are moving how many times? 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I'm getting 7, 7.540 grams. So I've converted from 7.54 kilograms to grams. This is the easiest among all. So the next type 2, let's start with the very easy example we have there, which is to convert 2 meters to centimeters. Notice that it's a unit without a prefix to a unit with a prefix. So 2 meters being converted to centimeters is equal to, this is what I would have done. 2 centimeter. I introduced a centi which was not there originally, and I know the value of centi to be 10 exponent minus 2, so I just put 10 exponent 2 to nullify my centimeter. I've finished my conversion. What is left is for me to expand if I want to. If I wanted to, I will leave it this way. See how I've converted in just one step without writing 100 centimeters is equal to blah 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 blah. So it's just very simple, but I'm going to teach you how I arrive at this. But let me expand this first for those who would want to expand. This will give us 200 centimeters. So I've converted 2 meters to centimeters in just one maximum 2 steps. But how did I come by this? You probably might not have understood this. Let me expand that further. Now 2 meters equals to 2. Now we are going to introduce something which was not already in the question. Remember that when we were converting the kilometers to meters, the kilo was already there, but then we expressed it in numbers. But this one, there is nothing there. We are introducing a centi there. So if you are introducing something, which is, for instance, we are introducing centi, we know the value of centi is 10 exponent negative 2. So since this is something we are bringing in which is not in the original value, we have to add something to it that will nullify it. So 10 exponent 2 times 10 exponent minus 2 is equal to 1. So if I should introduce this into my answer, it will be nothing. So I'm going to get times 10 exponent 2 times 10 exponent minus 2. Then I bring the unit. So remember that this was part of the task. We are converting to centimeter. So we are going to get 2 times 10 exponent 2. Instead of writing 10 exponent minus 2, I write my centimeter. I am done with my conversion. If you want to expand, then you expand and get your 200 centimeters. As simple as that. It's very, very simple. Let's try one last example. So let's try this one too. Let's try 95 seconds to, okay, because of the seconds, let me use 98 seconds to microseconds. We are converting 98 seconds to microseconds. So we have 98 seconds to be equal to, if it is me, and if you also become a master of it, you are just going to write 98. You know micro is 10 exponent negative 6, so you begin with the conjugate of 10 exponent negative 6, which is 10 exponent 6 times, if you want to just write the micro straightforward, or you can just write the 10 exponent minus 6 seconds. Then you come to the next step and write your 98 times 10 exponent 6 microseconds. So this is microseconds, this is microseconds. My brother, my sister, you are done with your conversion. If you want to expand, then you expand. But then at this point, you are done with your conversion. So let's end this video with this last example. 0 meters to picometer. Now straight away I would write 0.007 meters to be equal to 0.007 times pico is 10 exponent negative 12. So I'll start with the conjugate of pico, which is 10 exponent 12 times 10 exponent negative 12 meters. And if you want, right at this point, you can just write your 0.007 times the conjugate, which is 10 exponent 12, picometer, and you are done. But then I just want to write it this way before I convert it back to the prefix. So my final answer is going to be 0.007 times 10 exponent 12 picometer. Now at this point, since the question have not asked you to write it in standard notation or whatever, what have you, this is your final answer. You are done with your conversion, unless you want to expand it or simplify it, where you multiply your 0.007 by 10 exponent 12, or better still, since it's a positive exponent, you move your decimal point to the right 12 times. So if you are doing that, let me even try doing that. So 0.007, remember this is all additions and they are optional. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. You see how extended your answer is becoming. So all these will carry zeros. So this means that your final answer is going to be 7. How many zeros? We have 9 zeros. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 picometer. If you want it this way, fine. But then at this point, I will say you have done with your conversion. But then you decide how you will use it in your answer. But if the question is specific and it says that write your answer in scientific notation, then you are going to do this. So as I said, this answer is correct, but if the question says write your answer in scientific notation, you are going to write 0.007 times 10 exponent 12 to be equal to. Now I am converting only this to scientific notation, then now add the power to this one. So here my decimal point is on the left, which means that my power is going to be negative, and I'm going to move how many steps to get a coefficient which falls between from 1 to 9. So I'm moving 1 2 3, so I'm getting 7 times 10 exponent. Since it is coming from the left, exponent -3, then I write this one too, times 10 exponent 12. So this is going to give me 10 exponent -3 times 10 exponent 12. Since the bases are the same, we add the powers, and this is going to give me 7 times 10 exponent 9. So this will be your final answer. We are ending this video here, and then we will continue the other three aspects in the next video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share with your colleagues so that they can also benefit from it.